All right, thanks so much for joining us, guys. That was a really tough game, especially towards that back quarter. Joey, how was the composure throughout the whole game? Was there any nerves throughout the girls throughout the whole game, or especially towards that back end?
Yeah, look, I mean, the back end's pleasing. In the last 5 minutes, I mean, it's pleasing to always walk away with a win, but, you know, we're pretty disappointed probably with how we played, particularly on the defensive end, just wasn't us. That's a disappointing thing for us. You got to give full credit to Warwick. They're missing a couple of players, and they played extremely well. And you know, at the end of the day, probably deserved to win the game, and we're lucky to walk away with the win.
Do you think the girls were starting, towards late that fourth quarter, do you think the girls were starting to get a little bit lazy on defense, especially when you're starting to get into foul trouble and going into the bonus shots? Do you think defense started to get a little bit sloppy, hips going left, right, and centre?
Yeah, look, I probably almost, to some degree. I mean, I think I'd say we're probably lazy on defense in the first 3.5 quarters, and we're probably better on defense in the last half of the fourth quarter. But yeah, I mean, look, it's something we need to go away and evaluate because just not good enough for us.
Marcus, interested in the third quarter where the Senators obviously came back and made a real hard run, pegged back and took the lead. You chose not to take a timeout in there. I'm just wondering whether that was more of a fact that it was a good opportunity to put your players under the blowtorch and just see how they react. Is that your thought process?
That's a good question. You know, like it's always tricky early in the third. You know, you've got 3 timeouts, and if you end up with a close game, sometimes you need all 3 down the stretch. But yeah, like, I mean, we probably look back on that, and that's something we'll think about as coaches because it probably was a time we could have taken a timeout. But yeah, I mean, we try to probably keep them in reserve if we need them down the stretch, and we do back our players at times to be able to dig themselves out of holes. You know, and be able to play through runs against them. You know, unfortunately tonight we probably didn't work for us too well. So
fair enough. Games within games are really interesting. This one, it was a great game of basketball, but Robbie Ryan probably started well, drifted out of the game. You seemed to throw her on to Barr in that last quarter, and just the matchup between those two, Ryan ended up fouling out. But I think it was a great matchup, and something that the fans paid good money to come and see for good reason.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think she'll look back on that. Obviously, the first game she'd been unscouted, so Warwick would have got a good scout there from last week, and she was certainly less dominant tonight than what she was the week before. But her contributions were still probably not necessarily noticeable on the scoreboard. She had a lot of things probably off the ball and creative stuff. But yeah, like, I mean, it was a good one-on-one battle, and Stacey Barr had an unbelievable game, so we couldn't find a way to shut her down. So all credit to him.
Yep, Neseya, a great game by yourself. How did it feel like there?
It's really tough out there, I'm not going to lie. Really good, tough players on the work team. Just kept going with it.
Neseya, how did you see, from your perspective, how do you think the girls went tonight as an overall, as a playing collective?
I think we did good, but it's not our best. We could be a lot better, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, cool.
And I think finally, Shani Amos played some big minutes towards the back end. The stats won't jump off the page, but I think just the experience at times just settled the team down and probably contributed to the team getting over the line and a tough one tonight.
100%. The reason we put her back on the floor to finish that fourth quarter is to take her leadership and experience. It's exactly why we put her on the floor at that time. I think we put her out when things weren't going great, and I think she might not show. She does stuff that doesn't show on the scoreboard, on the stat sheet. It's really important to us, and I don't think there's any question that her leadership and experience helped us get over the line.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say, when these tough games like this, as a coach, you probably rubbing your hands together. You've got a lot of things to take away and work on. Can you just share with some of those things you'd like to particularly grab hold of during the week and work on?
Yeah, I'd like to be better at guarding ball screens. No, look, I mean, it's like we said to the players after the game, there's a positive that we can win ugly sometimes, the positive that we grounded out. At the 5-minute mark, we could have rolled over and it could have been all over for us. And, we stuck together, we grounded out. And, sometimes there's a lot of positives that we take from that because, if you can win that way and win ugly and win by grinding and win out the last 5 minutes against probably the run of play, there's a lot of positives to take from that. But, we've certainly got some work to do on the defence there.
Yeah, cool. Last one from me. Lessons that you've learned from this game. What are some of the lessons that you've learned from both coaching and Neseya from a player's perspective? What are some of the lessons you've learned that you can take into training throughout the week and then into your game next week or your next game?
You go first.
I just think defensively, we got to be switched on from the get-go. Just have patience and just communicate a lot more.
Yeah, I think I said it, with the defensive end we need to do better, but you know, we got a lot to take away and learn too, just about communication and whether we can communicate better as coaches to the floor about change-ups and things that's happening. I think we're losing communication at times through the noise in the stadium and stuff like that. So that's a big thing for us too. We've got to work out a way to be able to change stuff up in the game and get the communication across the all 5 players on the floor.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Congratulations on the win tonight. Very entertaining game, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the next home game.
Thanks very much.